So, on this, what are we now? 24, on this midnight hour, I think I'll try and keep it as short and make the statements as short and sweet as possible. What we saw tonight was special. One word. Special in many ways. Special as a boxing performance. I think I'll talk a little bit. Hats off to Troy. He came and came and came and came. I think he got very frustrated using a few different tools that weren't just this. In the end, that was for me a sign of the frustration that Josh, was putting on a masterclass. I think Troy is a fantastic gladiator warrior, and I'm sure he'll be back. I think that even illustrates those more that tonight a very good fighter in Troy met a special fighter, and that's what I'll really say on the performance. But from a pleasure point of view, apart from this nice strap that you now have, which you'll be adding many to in the future, is that let's look at this from outside the team, because I've just joined the team a year ago, whatever ago. But I've watched the Josh Kelly journey through the eyes of, from my friend Adam, of course. We always have kept in touch even when we haven't had fights together. But from the boxing world, you looked at this from the outside and saw a young man being hyped up because there was a vacuum in this UK boxing space to fill. And that vacuum was supposed to be filled by Josh, Conor Ben, Josh Boazzi. That's the way the industry works. That's not blaming a promoter, that's not blaming a network, it's just simply the way the industry works, and people, especially with social media, they draw into that straight away. That's fine, that's the way it works. But when that doesn't go to plan, and a young man, young in his career, pro career as well, loses to a very good boxer who's now boxing against Terence Crawford, and the world kicks a man when he's down, that's something that I hate about our sport. It's something that I detest. I think it's horrible, but that's life. And tonight was much sweeter than a 30-second knockout in a round. It was much sweeter than that. It was 12 rounds, 36 minutes, uninterrupted concentration at the highest level of the sport, to stick those fucking words down those critics' mouths. That's what I got to say. Thank you. Adam, maybe you want to say a few words on the back of that?
Stuck it down their mouths and up the other side as well.
Exactly, where the sun don't shine, baby.
No.
I haven't had a drink yet, not this is water, not vodka. It was the master. I mean, you are famous as the Dark Lord for creating master plans. But I'm going to ask you the question now like an interviewer, because this is something that I thought when I was doing my first interviews after a fight, I was just thinking, special, amazing performance. But actually, what for me the most special part of it is to keep the concentration level. It's very easy to say, right, fight off the rope, dodge, move, fast counters. Sounds very simple, but 36 minutes in that sort of atmosphere, around this sort of build-up, that's a huge amount of pressure. I know we can laugh the pressure off and we can have a song and dance about it, but that is pressure there. For me, the most impressive part is the concentration over that amount of time. You blink for 1 second against a man who can throw us the punch. That for me is the most impressive. Sorry to almost answer your question.
Yeah, but the thing is,
that's what stands out to me.
I've said from day one, even the good days and the bad days, that Josh is the most talented fighter I've ever worked with. What I see him doing in the gym repeatedly is stuff you can't teach. He can do the things you can't teach. And when I hear that chat about he's got no gas tank, he's got no heart, the only person that beat Josh Kelly before was Josh Kelly. We know that. He's had dark days. He's had a lot to overcome over the last couple of years in dealing with things mentally. To get to the point now where he understands himself as a man outside and away from boxing, and it's allowing him to be who he is as a fighter. And He asked me months ago, can he just express himself in a fight like he does in sparring, rather than taking it too seriously, orthodox, when you approach a fight. I said, all right, let's go with this. He's done nearly 120 rounds of sparring, most of them 12 rounders, against 2 or 3 different sparring partners. Stuff that I've seen him do in the past with world champions, and he's looked spectacular. I've always known he's got special things, and tonight, all you saw was a fraction of what he can do, because it's the first time he's been allowed to do what he does in sparring in a fight. To the point where he said, all right, but in sparring, I stand up. Can I stand up in between rounds? Okay, I'll adapt what I do to fit around you, because if what I'm saying is, all I want you to do is like your sparring and just have fun with it. I got to live it. I can't just say it and not follow through with it. So all right, I've got to recheck myself. I'll work from outside. If you get cut, you get cut. We'll figure it out. And I work from the outside so that he can pace around in between rounds like he does in sparring. Because in sparring, he doesn't just concentrate for 36 minutes. He concentrates for 48 minutes. He does more than 12 rounds. So I knew he could do it, but now he's proved it at championship level against an unbeaten champion, big, strong dude who was relentlessly coming forward, and Josh just got better and better as the fight went. And like you said to Troy, what are you going to do after 6 rounds when I'm still there? It was dominant. But believe me when I say this, I've seen so much more than what you just had a taste of tonight. And all he wants to be is an entertainer. He wants to go out, have fun fighting, and just entertain people.
I mean, for the concentration, that makes sense, total sense with the rounds. In terms of you, Josh, I mean, the dressing room before, those who weren't in there, was like a party going on. And they got me doing a special dancing, sort of war dance. I was good though, no?
It was all right. The suit looked nice in it. The suit looked nice in it.
We said about the dance. but anyways, don't forget my dancing. Your dance is much more important. Adam just said you look like you were having fun in there tonight. I mean, I had noticed between, I can't remember what song it was, but there was one that you were particularly enjoying between the rounds. I think I've never at this level seen someone, I think even Tyson Fury hasn't done this yet, was that you sort of sang along with the songs in between rounds with the crowd.
Yeah, but like, I wouldn't say it. I do all this in sparring, right, and people come down and see it, and they go, oh, sparring, and then I'm dancing, and everyone knows I do this in between sparring, on a regular basis with good sparring partners. Thank you for the sparring partners, the people that needed to do it.
Jermaine Brown and Lee Cutler especially.
They pushed this hard. And I'm doing that in between rounds there. So I said, Adam, like, if we're going to go into this flow state, why don't we just do everything what I do in the gym? You just go in the ring and do it. Instead of, you wouldn't practice something in your life, and then when it's time to do it totally different what you've been practicing it like. So I was like, why don't we just look around the spot, like Adam suggested that, and then we just constantly spar. That's my favourite part of job sparring. I'd rather spar every day than do anything else. And then by the end of it, I was actually sick of sparring. I was like, Jesus Christ, we've got another 10, 12 rounds I'm doing here against these 2 big niggas flying out trying to take me head off. But that's what I said, and I said, we'll stand up, we'll just go for it, because we only live once, and if you've got doubts in the back of your head and think, I should have done it like this, I should have done it like that, you grace yourself once, so why not just do it the way you want to do it? So I thought, tonight I just thought, fuck it, down my way, do you know what I mean?
Fantastic. We want to ask you this because everyone else will want to ask you this. There's chapters, I believe, in chapters in life. There's chapters in your career, there's chapters in your private life. Tonight, for me, once again, not having been part of that first part of the journey, and it will look like this perception-wise to a lot of the public, it was closing a chapter, wasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, like I heard Troy a couple of times tonight, he was tough, he's so tough, bro. He's so tough. I heard him and I thought, can I step on him and try? And then I thought, no, I'm not going to try it, that's tough. I thought, like, can I get this guy? Like, I think you'd be able to hit him in the back and get off his feet.
Well, I think he was in the first round.
He's so tough. So, I mean, when I knew that, I thought, let's just do what I do. And when I get around 12, this will stamp out all these doubts of these guys. Because like Adam's been saying, I've been doing this for years in the gym now, like years. And then, I don't know, my mind used to play tricks on us, and I was so weird in my head, and I just you wouldn't even believe like some of the dark places I've been in. And people used to come in, how are you like this now? When it's just, he was like that in the gym a couple of weeks ago. And now I've sorted that out. Like tonight, he said I was so relaxed in the changing rooms. And one of the guys, Dave, says, I've never seen a changing room this relaxed. I have to be there, relaxed, and I have to feel like I'm not even fighting. I have to be like I'm in the gym. I have to be like the music's on. I have to just, I'm fueled a lot by music and rhythm, so when I hear something I just start going with it, so then that keeps us going and going and going and going. I actually said I don't come and play music in between the rounds. He says there will be music played on. I know, but I want some vowel tunes in between the rounds. And he was like, I can't take a phone up there and start blasting music. I think one of the lads said, we'll put a speaker in the corner. I said, you can't be doing that.
Don't like a bit of Bon Jovi?
Did you have Bon Jovi on there?
It was my playlist.
Was it?
Took off my phone.
You need to show that dance now as well as you did it.
Really good. Now, I tell you something, the crowd were even.
Crowd were great, bro.
But they turned, didn't they, during the fight? They could see that you entertained them.
I mean,
I mean, despite you winning pretty much every round for me, in between the rounds, they were all having a great time, and I think you soaked it up. No?
Did me at the North East, and I wanna go back and put this fight on at the stadium like that. Would be a dream. Imagine that, and you see them like I don't think anyone's done like that.
We'll get there.
Unbelievable. But the North East, being the whole Troy's fans, my fans, everyone performed tonight. So yeah, I feel like I'm in a dream at the moment, mate. It's a bit weird. I'm slap us out a bit for it.
Troy tried that, didn't work.
He's feeling like it is worked a little bit.
You were speaking a bit during the fight, man.
Yeah, because speaking
What
sport,
were you saying?
I was just saying like, I remember one round, I think one of the coaches in there says, I was in the corner, his corner, and he went, he's tired now, Troy, and I turned around and I said, I'm not tired.
Yeah, I saw that,
I'm not tired. And then the fight kicked off outside, and I seen it kick off and I went, they're fighting more than me and you at the moment. I says, Jesus, like that. And then
He told me he was back. He was against the rope. He had Troy back to against the rope. So he was above me. I'm watching it like intently focused, and he looked at me and went, "They're fighting over there." And I've turned around and seen it kicking off. I've watched that for like 2 seconds. Turn back, and he's back in the centre ring again, carrying on boxing. But he told me to turn around and watch them fighting.
I just knew like
This shit happens every day in the gym. That's what I'm saying. But honestly, if you saw 50% of what goes on in the gym, it'd be so much more entertaining than tonight.
fuck yeah, but didn't live up to him, Jesus.
I mean, we've worked with quite a few boxers before, and I remember, especially with David Hay, I remember there's not, when you stand in the ring before, especially world title fights, there's a lot of people in the ring, so it's quite tight in there. And I remember David, when he was in the ring, he would walk around, and I would actually be worried that he'd sort of, because he was always remember, he always looked at the floor and sort of paced around, and it was like very intense vibe, let's say. This is exactly, probably, it doesn't get more opposite, but with the exception that the level of being in the zone is it's just a different zone. Is that something that you had to come up with for Josh? Is that something that's just come out naturally?
Everything you saw today was all Josh Kelly.
Yeah.
The side on jab, that sharpshooting side on jab, and the lead hook is something we've worked on in that orthodox frame of mind. But in terms of his IQ, and his ability to
move classic,
his ability to read things that are about to happen, Josh can do the things you cannot teach. And the big challenge for me as a coach is not to interrupt it, to allow it, and just make sure that I'm guiding it without never telling what shot to throw, never prescribe anything, because if you prescribe it, my prescription is 2 steps behind what he's already seen. And for me, it's fascinatingly fun to work with that.
You can tell.
Can I just ask Josh, was that a perfect performance, a faultless performance?
I'd say so, pretty much. I had that for 15 rounds in the gym every day, so I knew what was coming. I knew the jog across the ring that is, and I knew when I'd switch angle, he'd come again and come again and come again. We'd rehearse pads where I just hit the pad once and go around under, hit the pad once, go around under, constantly. just to condition them legs, just to get them in a position where I can just go round and round and round and not get tired. Because when you start punching, you obviously leaving vulnerabilities open. You leave yourself open. When you're punching, you're either connecting or you're leaving yourself open. In his case, every time he punched, he was leaving himself wide open. So I didn't really need to punch that much. I just needed to punch when the time was right. So when the time was right, I picked the shots, and I felt like I didn't waste any energy. Before, when I was younger, I used to come out and fly and hit loads of shots, and I just boxed the way I've been doing in the gym, really.
Box with freedom, would you say? Is that
Yeah, just like flow state, like I always say this, like if you're in work or you're doing a job and you ever do something really that good that you feel like you feel like you're out of body experience where you're just like, what's just happened there? Like weird. I've just had that night, so weird. So yeah, it's really weird. I didn't feel like it was me, like
You
coming
keep
out.
having those experiences. I'm happy at the top of an out of body experience. Fantastic, I like that.
You won a Commonwealth title like very early in your career. Obviously, boxers and Olympian before then. What's it feel like having the Lonsdale belt draped over your right shoulder?
Yeah, unbelievable. You said before, didn't you, Billy Hardy was the one since 1995. So Billy Hardy's a legend up Sunderland, and I've just put myself in the history books there with him. So I'm very, very just happy, mate. Like, I've just come from humble backgrounds. Like, went to turn pro. My dad messaged Adam Booth on Facebook, and Adam weirdly got back to him on Facebook. He never, like, that was when Facebook was dying out, and then I ended up coming down, and I was like, this is all a bit crazy. Met my wife before the Olympics, and it all just joined together, and I was just like, this is it's good. Hey, I'm enjoying it. This is what I need to be enjoying it.
It's a great sporting city, Sunderland. What about the Stadium of Light? About the world title fight at the Stadium of Light?
I mean, I'm going to avoid talking about future fights tonight and mentioning names. I just think tonight's so special in terms of closing that chapter. I really believe in that. But
I'm
a promoter, I'd be delighted to promote in a Stadium of Light. Absolutely. I mean, we need the right fight, we need the right dance partner, of course. You know,
Need right with that.
need the right weather come out tomorrow night. For those going, I'll lend them a ski suit. But no, I mean, I think the weather up here don't matter at all. Nah, I mean,
Not for the people.
I
I
don't-
mean, for us, right? Can I get?
other people, yeah, but I mean, up here you could put a fight on -20 and it'd still be.
No, everyone still be out in skirts and vests.
It's I love it up here, I've got to say. But of course, yeah. I mean, like Adam said, this is I can only go on what I see and Adam, long-term friend, partner, whatever, and it's someone I trust implicitly in the sport. So I get guided by that and nothing else, and then I try and make things happen, and got a pretty good track record of making those things happen over the past 20-something years. I mean, we've produced 1 or 2 world champions over the years. I think
Big red
I keep
TV
on
event.
swearing, I'm so excited, but he's going to be a world champion. It's not like if, but tonight, I once again trust with Adam here. I didn't, there wasn't a hesitation in my mind, like people saying it's a 50-50 fight. Obviously I'm not allowed to bet, so I didn't bet. I'm getting excited. But mate, how did people, I mean, that shows me the levels that people doubted. And yes, of course there's another level up, the world champions, but this lad's got it all. I didn't even mention speed in my little speech, by the way. But speed is his biggest asset. It's speed. I mean, those counters. I mean, he wobbled him in, and I always forget the rounds when I'm nervous, and there was no ring girls to help me. So we're not now working on that. Rounds 1, wobbled him. Rounds, I think 5, 7, and 11, I would go wobbled him. But Troy, to give Troy big credit here, I mean, it shows the level of the performance, man. Relentless, he is one. I mean, tough is look up tough and there's a picture of Troy Williamson in the dictionary. I mean, and he will have big success, and when we move up to fight for world titles, I'm sure Troy will hold that belt one day. I'm sure of it. Again, he's a very, very good boxer.
Yeah.
But there's very, very good, and then there's special, and tonight was special.
Can I ask a question? Just want to say massive congratulations for tonight. I've been following your journey since you started boxing. Really love it. Obviously, this fight's big to you. What are you going to take back from this fight back to the gym, back to the sparring? What are you going to take back from tonight?
I just think just keep doing what I'm doing, really. Just keep polishing what I'm doing. Seems to be working.
It's the reverse. We're taking stuff from the gym into the next fight.
Yeah, I think
That's what it is.
That'll be the case. I think, yeah, just gotta keep enjoying it, mate, and just keep, as long as I'm enjoying it, and enjoying sport, then I'll be in it. The day I stop enjoying it like I was before, and if that ever happens, and I go into a dark place, I'll walk away, because that's not where I want to be for me, my family, my coach, anybody. But that was some of the worst shit I've ever been through, so yeah. Soon, I'll just keep enjoying it.
Josh, you probably wasn't easy in there, but it definitely you made it look easy from where I was sat, and it's very clear to see that happy Josh Kelly is the best Josh Kelly in the ring.
Yeah.
You've clearly been through some stuff. What is it that you've changed out of the ring to get to where you are tonight? And how much of an influence has Adam had on that as well, and the rest of the team?
Adam's had a massive, I've got some close friends who stood by us. Adam's had a massive input. He actually said, listen, you need to go and sort yourself out. So I went and talked to a few people, and a guy called Stephen come about me. He was sort of working. He was like, I can change your mindset, you know. I was like, what's this guy know about boxing? You know what I mean? Can I change that? I've got a strong mindset, you can't change that. And then come in, he started doing stuff with us. I was like, this is mad. Brought me down in many sessions, I was crying. I was like, this is crazy, this. Going home, and Remy was like, what you doing? You're down there with my wife. She's going, what you doing? You're constantly crying as you're coming home. But he just changed everything. And literally, if you think about it, we're here for a blip. That's what I keep saying to myself, we're here for a blip. And nothing really matters. Like, this does matter, obviously it does. But this will be all news in 2 or 3 weeks, and everyone will be moved on to the next fight. And that's life. And that's why I've got to just keep enjoying every moment and stay in the present moment at all times. Anxiety's worried about the future, just worried about the past. So I've just got to just stay right here. I want to come out of this dream state and actually feel like I'm living at the moment, because this is weird, mate. I feel like this is a weird deja vu I've got here, like some mad trip. But yeah, just, I don't have to get deep what I'm saying, but like that's just like what like you put life in perspective. Like people that come and go, we're only here for what, max 70, 80, 90, 100 years, lucky. And I want to just every day just want to just live happy and enjoy it. Obviously it's going to be down days, hard days and whatever, but if you can have less of them and more of the good ones, then we're winning, I guess. You know what I mean?
Very well deserved, mate. Well done.
Cheers, bro.
Like you mentioned earlier on, like you wobbled him a few times. Like with your like huge skill set, do you think that your power might be underestimated, like by people?
Yeah, I think so, mate. I think the shots you don't see coming and the shots would hurt you. So I knew he'd end up walking into a shot and getting hurt. He walked himself into shots, and it's the shots you don't see coming with the speed. That's what hurts people. It's not necessarily these big slugging, loaded up shots. So yeah, mate. I think it's definitely underrated.
Amazing on the short, sharp ones.
Yeah.
Those are the ones that are going to get people.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, Troy.
He's tough, mate. He's so tough. I thought, listen, I could end up breaking my hand in this fight and having to fight with one hand. He's that tough. Like his head's that hard as well. Yeah, he's just a tough geezer. I've got massive respect for Troy. We grew up together in the amateur rankings and everything, and we're out back and forth, so just to get the fight going. But he's a true warrior, and he showed it tonight. Jesus Christ, he's tough, tough fella.
I think that's it this evening. Again, congratulations. A big round of applause, please.